So, you've seen all those cool modelers in Roblox, and you wonder, how am I gonna model? How? Well, this is a simple tutorial on how to model. So, a few big beginner mistakes. So that one of the most annoying things you have to fix is that your collisions and constraints. Make sure all of these are off. Make sure they're all off. Just make sure they're straight all off. And if they rotate, I think it's usually like 45 degrees and 45 that. And let me show you why this is bad. Let's just grab a random block from here. You see how restricted the moving is? Like, look at this moving. Look at this. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. Oh. See how bad the moving is, and you can kind of barely move it? See how bad this is? Yeah. So that's the main problem. I want to set this to 0 by just getting that out and typing it to 0. And you'll have pure smooth rotation, which will allow you to make more advanced builds. And the next thing you want to do is move to 0, so you can go basically anywhere you want with anything, and that'll help in the models. Now, a lot of things people don't know about modeling. You have to have properties and explore on. Those are the most important parts if you actually want to learn how to model. And let's see, I forgot where we find them. Yeah. So this is home, model, test, and view. So we're gonna be going to view, I think. I haven't even closed those at all. And you have to find explorer and properties. Let's see. I don't even know. Oh, there it is. So I think you put here. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure at this point. And explorer. Make sure those two things are on. Always on. They'll help you in the future. Now, next thing you want to do is open up toolbox. Toolbox is usually open, but just in case it isn't open, make sure you have that on. Now, let's move on to the building itself. So, you can see these swords. They're not the best things I've ever created, but they're pretty good, in my opinion. You can say what you want about them. So, let's just make, I don't know, let's just make a basic, let's say, katana. Let's just make a basic katana. It's gonna be all gray because I'm not gonna really use that much time to make it. So, let's just make a basic gray katana. And how I want to do this is you can turn these parts really small, like tiny. Let's say like really tiny like this, and start like bending them a little. Then you get like a great bend. If I can grab my heart models, I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's actually going to be easy just to grab models and show you an example. So you have my harps. Let's see. Come on, harps. What the hell? What the heck? Okay, apparently it only saved one part of my harps, which is really strange because that's not how the mafia works. So I have to fix that up. But for now, we're just going to grab this harp. And you see this harp, right? It's actually not just like I didn't do anything. It doesn't let's actually go to the simple harp first. Let's go to this Orpheus harp. Let's copy and paste. And let's just make it bigger so it's easier for you to see without zooming in too much. You see this harp? It's made out of multiple parts, and it uses the materials good. And it's relatively simple compared to that harp. It does still have some flaws since I made this I don't know, a few years ago. But overall, I think it's still a solid model. And as you can see here, I didn't use a circle, then I somehow clipped it out. I actually used separate parts, tiny parts to be exact, and put them together to form, this kind of, harp there. Now let's go to my more advanced harp. And also keep in mind this harp, it also has the same technique I used on the Omega logo, and it just goes there. Blah, blah. And that's about it. Let's ungroup this so you can see each individual part. Basically each individual part. This is a more simple harp. No, the orb. What the hell is the orb? And let's go on to my newer orb. My harp, not orb, that was an orb. My harp and see. It has some style to it. It has some, I hate to say this word, but swag. And it's a little bit flatter than my older one, but hey, I think it's still recently good, and I have to salvage other model. As you can see, this is made out of like a lot of models. It's actually pretty complex if you look into it. As you can see here, I put a bunch of them together. Like a bunch of blocks together, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. So if you want to create bends, just have like a bunch of blocks together, and that will give you the effect. So let's just grab this block here, and now let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you how I exactly did it. So you can see by here, you can just bend it. It's not going to be the perfect model, but you can see that already it's at an angle. And it's pretty much like, you can pretty much just twist and turn this, and to turn it like a full circle. Hold on now. Turn it like a circle like that, and make the most out of your building. Now let's see if I can find that one thing. We also have transform, but it's more of like all these 3 options but more precise, so we really don't need to get into that for now, since this is a beginner's tutorial on how to use Roblox Studio in the first place. Yeah, I can just keep bending that. I'm not going to actually create a whole ass katana, because that's just going to be a waste of time in the first place, so don't even know why I'm trying. So, as you can see at this point, you probably understand the basics, or at least this part of the basics. Now let's get into the more like, let's say, for advanced stuff. So, I don't know, you're trying to create a cup or something, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to like add the hole inside the cup. So, this is how you do it first of all, and you just make like, if you want things to be really easy, just make the cup really big. Do this, basically do this. And also to actually make that like the color of a cup. And let's make it marble. And let's see if you can grab a piece of anything. Oh no, I'm not gonna make a handle, it's just gonna be like a standard cup, marble cup. Actually, let's actually just make it a glass instead. So, just make it blue. And also, this is where properties come in. Just don't focus on them. I'll have like a whole section about it later. Let's just go to transparency. Boom. Boom, boys. It's not going to be a very detailed cup because, you know, I'm just doing this for an example. And we're just going to kind of like make it smaller. It's not like the perfect proportions of a cup because, you know, this is merely an example. But you want to basically move this up here. And make sure the piece is like exactly where you want it. For me, it's not going to be because, of course, this is just, you know, showing you the basics. So make sure it goes all the way through, and you're going to just do this. Go to model. Either you can like right click and use union and negate, but for now, you just have to use negate. Then you have to like drag your mouse, click left and drag your mouse, and press union. Not separate, not negate, but union. And this has a weird effect because, you know, I use transparent, but this is what will happen. It'll create a whole shape on what you've used. Let's move on to our next section, which is meshes. So, let's go grab hair. Let's see if we can just find the original Roblox here. So, you see this. Actually, let's go to a few meshes. So, this whole section is meshes. They are not models, and you cannot put holes in them like you can't union meshes. You can't. Oh my god, what the hell happened to that Pikachu, dude? Well, in fact, with the missing virus. Let's get just Dominus no wings, because you know. Yeah, I just had to remove the thread from Dominus. You know, because that's not right. And you just have the Dominus Frigidus. It's gonna be big because I don't know why these things are so big, but you see this, it's actually a mesh. So Roblox hats and a lot of other things could be a mesh. You have a mesh ID, which is a Roblox inside a texture, which you basically just. Let me show what happens when you remove the texture. Let's just go Constellation the way the Scorpius. It's my thing's been deleted because I forgot to take out the link and just put like Scorpio or something. So it basically turns gray. It doesn't turn gray, but like depending on what you put on it, let's just say we're just going to put, I don't know, just say we're gonna put this bird on it. It'll turn like this. Now I'm not the best at when it comes to meshes, and I don't specialize in meshes. I'm just using going off my basic knowledge. Just put the bird mesh all over the Dominus and to make it work. Yeah. And also, if you really want to like reskin a hat, it's gonna be like a whole another tutorial. I just have to go to someone else's video because I don't cover that here. It's a strictly building channel, so not too much meshes here. Even though like building, it's still falls in the category of meshes, building, but I really don't need meshes that much at all. So keep that in mind when you like find something. Always have to make sure it's an actual like model and not a mesh. Like let's see, let's go to this guy. See, this is a mesh probably. Let's see. No, actually, yeah, that's a mesh. This is like a mesh. The head is a mesh, so keep that in mind. And now let's move on to transparency, reflecting all of the other good jazz. So let's grab this. Let's just make it like a default block. It's not a default block, but let's grab this, make it a block, and let's do this to it. Let's just make it gray. Let's make it wood, and you can see this. So you go to properties. Yeah, this is explore. This is properties. And you have fossil, and you also have this whole color selection thing, which you don't need to really get into. We can. It's actually pretty simple to do that, but still. So, also one thing I forgot to mention: when you make a union, I'll show you this later after this, so because it kind of falls in the category. So from here you can change the color to not the color. You can change the material. Just basically whatever you want. Let's just keep it on slate, and you can change the color, and it'll actually change like in real time. It doesn't just delay, you know, change the real time, so you can make it go all rainbow. And we have reflectance. So this is what reflectance is used in the name. Like if you put it all the way up to high, like it can do this. And also, like for most things, it doesn't really work that hard. Good. Let's see if you can find something else. I don't know, let's go on to, I mean, it works best on glass and foil and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you see this? It works best on glass and like glass and all that other stuff. So if you turn it down, it becomes like less reflecting. Turn it up, it becomes more reflecting. And actually, by default, it'll turn blue. Not by default, but like by default, it will turn blue because it's reflecting off the skybox. So this is the skybox right now, and let me just show you an example. See if you can get a good material here. Glass. Oh god, not glass. Let's say glaze. Let's just go here, and you can see how kind of already reflects off the skybox. But if you do this, boom, we basically got a mirror of the skybox. Like you see, like it's like a whole other world basically. It's actually stretched it out. So you can kind of see, like, see? Basically, like, the skybox reflected. So if you change the skybox, you can look up skybox here. I don't know how to make skyboxes yet. I don't know how to make this one. I just turn it into the Shrek skybox, since it actually has a notable difference to other skyboxes. So if you have this skybox, it'll actually change, and it'll reflect off. So this is the effect. This is actually terrifying. Let's just go back. So yeah, that was just talking about. Now, let's see if we're gonna make another union. Nothing too special. We're just gonna do this. And just do this. This is gonna make it really dramatic. It's to negate, as I said, left drag union. And with when like by default for some reason you can like change the material of unions. Yeah, you can change the material of unions, but you can change. Also, forgot to cover transparency. Yeah, transparency basically makes things invisible. Blah blah blah. Basically the same as reflecting it, but changes like the how you can see through it. Transparency. Sorry about that brief pause there. Actually migrated to my room. And let's go. So let's perhaps try to change the color of this union. See, it has no effect on the unit at all. Even if you go to black forever, it doesn't change. So basically what you want to go to is you want to go to the part color, and use part color will actually change it. Make sure this is checkbox if you're going to change the part color. The most convenient thing you can really do is actually just like make sure when you're using it it's the same part color. That helps a lot. And also you cannot you cannot drag out unions since you're already, kind of fixed into one thing you put them into. Now let's go into let's say names. So we have this block here. You can actually change the name, and I recommend not leaving a model, but I do that because I do a lot of stuff on this when it comes to Roblox Studio in general. And you want to just do this. So I actually forgot how to do the name. It's blocking up, the recorder is blocking it, so just do that. Yeah, so my recorder is blocking it. So basically you'd go to here, which is rename. I got on rename and name it to anything you want. I'm just gonna name it ABC for the sake of this video. So it's named ABC, nothing really changed it. It doesn't go letters on it or anything. And it just, it's ABC. Yeah, it doesn't really change anything, but organize this thing. So, and also, you can filter the workspace by doing A. Look, you can look up ABC and it's there. It's there. So if you're looking for anything in general, it's always available that way. So for now, I think I basically covered the basics of Roblox Studio, and I really hope you enjoyed this video because honestly, it took a lot of time to work on this. Not work on this. It's actually a pretty simple video, but still, I kind of dedicated a lot of my time to educating people on how to use Roblox Studio, and I hope you're satisfied with your results as you build. If you really want to contact me, you can always just, I'll be on the Databall server mostly, so you can always contact me there. I'm Shadowless, and I hope you enjoyed this whole video, and appreciated it. See ya!